Happy New Year and welcome into This Week in Bobcat Athletics. In this edition, we take a look at some of the top moments from 2017. The UC Merced women's basketball team won their third straight California Pacific Conference Championship with a thrilling 57-56 victory over Benedictine University at Mesa. Trailing by 13 points in the fourth quarter, All-American Courtney Dana took over and scored 12 points over the final 10 minutes, including a floater with 22 seconds left on the clock to give the Bobcats a 2-point lead.
10 on the shot clock, 25 on the game clock. Dana into the lane, hanging runner is good.
Moments later, with the game tied at 56, Deja Jackson drove to the basket and was fouled with 1.3 seconds on the game clock.
Deja Jackson, the sophomore out of Hayward, Mount Eden High, to the line. Jackson first free throw is good. Second free throw for Jackson. I'd be tempted to miss right here if I was Jackson. She does. Rebound loose, and that's your ball game.
Jackson's free throw would secure the Bobcats' third straight CalPAC title. Besides Dana and Jackson, senior Brittany Martinez had a stellar performance and notched her program-leading ninth double-double with 17 points and 13 rebounds. Just 5 days later, the men's volleyball team made their presence felt by knocking off Hope International University for the second straight game. The two wins marked the first in program history over the Royals and clinched a spot in the postseason. Cole Smith led the offense and combined for 29 kills over the two matches, helping lead to his all-conference second-team selection. Setter Matt Palfini was also strong during those matches and combined for 77 assists. Men's volleyball opens up their 2018 campaign with a scrimmage against the University of St. Catherine on Hostetler Court Sunday, January 7th at 12 p.m. The 2017 fall sports season was one for the ages, as all 6 teams made noise in the postseason. On the soccer field, the men's and women's teams had one of their most impressive seasons to date. The men's soccer team finished the regular season with a record of 12-1-4 and ranked top 5 in 8 different statistical categories. One of the season's most memorable wins occurred on November 2nd in Southern California, when the Bobcats shut out Marymount California University to snap their 28-game winning streak against conference foes. The Bobcats carried that momentum into the CalPAC tournament, where they beat Embry-Riddle 2-0 and clinched a spot in the CalPAC championship game. The win also clinched their first ever NAIA Men's Soccer National Championship appearance. Despite a loss in the national tournament, the Bobcats ended the postseason ranked 24th, their first national ranking in program history. The women's soccer team also found themselves in the California Pacific Conference Championship game. After finishing their regular season 9-5-4 and losing just one game in the final month of the season, the Bobcats locked up the number 3 seed and found themselves playing Antelope Valley in the semifinals. The Bobcats went to penalty kicks for the second time in program history, and it was goalkeeper Emma Broderick who had the task in between the posts. On the offensive side, Elizabeth Cruz Gomez was the first Bobcat to find the net, followed by Clara Constantini, Jennifer Salinger, and it was Dee Covarrubias to nail the game winner and advance the Bobcats to the California Pacific Conference Championship game. On the same day, the men's and women's soccer teams clinched a spot in the CalPAC championship game. Women's volleyball did the same by knocking out Antelope Valley in a 5-set thriller. Jasonna Johnson tallied back-to-back kills to spark a 9-3 run and win the second set 25-18. The Bobcats won the third set 28-26, but lost the next, setting up a winner-go-home 5th set in the CalPAC semifinals. Junior Jade Fashion started off the set with 3 straight kills, and the Bobcats ran away from there, finishing off the match with a 15-8 win. Fashion totaled a career-high 29 kills and would go on to tie that mark one match later in the CalPAC championship game against Embry-Riddle. Switching over to the great outdoors, the men's and women's cross-country teams had a solid showing at the California Pacific Conference Championships at Woodward Park.
Nice job.
Under first-year head coach Mike Barbie, the Bobcats qualified a program record 4 runners for the NAIA National Championships, including junior Anthony Tyler, who placed second out of 87 total runners with a time of 25:51. The Bobcats' other 3 qualifiers were Karina Martinez, Sarah Zaldana, and Blake Miller. The NAIA National Championship race took place at the Fort Vancouver National Historic Site in Washington, and Tyler continued to impress, running a program record 25:23 and becoming UC Merced's first cross-country All-American. Around at the same time, head coach Kevin Pham and the men's basketball team started 2-0 for the first time in program history with a pair of wins over San Diego Christian and West Coast Baptist. Cole Tyra and Aaron Laughlin paved the way for the stellar start and combined for 46 of the Bobcats' 107 points in the 107-61 win over West Coast Baptist. The 107 points marked the highest scoring outburst in program history. Sophomore Derek Yedinchukwu also played a large role in the win, as he notched his first career double-double with a 15 points, 10 rebound performance. Men's basketball continues their season this week with Cal-Pac games against Embry-Riddle and Benedictine. Game times are set for 7:30 p.m. on Hostetler Court Thursday and Saturday night.